Next, I'm pleased to welcome Professor Meirav Hen, Dean of the Social and Humanities faculties at Tel-Hai College. Meirav, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for inviting me.
We've been hearing a lot about Tel-Hai in the news, and not just because it's switching from a college to a university, which it is, but because of the immense impact of the war on the North and on the college in particular. And how much of a community is that really?
Well, I think that over the past year, the Tel-Hai community has faced extraordinary challenges. But, like many Israelis around Israel and Jewish people around the world, but situated near Israel's northern border in Kiryat Shmona, or if you want to call it South Lebanon, our campus endured prolonged evacuation. I think it was about 60% of our students and staff that were displaced from their homes, while many others had to endure months under the constant threat of attacks and bombing and all that. We also had to immediately evacuate our research labs, all our different facilities in the college, and everything was shut down. I think that in response, we adapted quickly, transitioning to mostly remote learning, even though about 20% of our students were called up for reserve duty on various fronts. Maybe it's important to say that in times of peace, Tel-Hai serves as a vital driver of growth and development in the Galil and Golan Heights. Our institution attracts thousands of young people from across the country who integrate into the fabric of life in the region and fuel its economy. These students, they rent apartments, they shop locally, explore the area, and really participate in its cultural life. I think that really beyond the economic impact, they play a critical role in the community.
Let's jump back to what I snuck in there before about the college becoming a university, which I'm sure will impact those same students immensely. First of all, congratulations. How is the change in the title going to impact the general function or image of this academic institution?
Well, I think that it's very important to say that it's not only a change in title, it's basically really a very, very big change because, like I said before, many of our students are embedded in the region's local welfare, education, all that, and we contribute a lot to the life in the North. So now we're thinking that moving into the university structure, or I would say really establishing the University of Kiryat Shmona in the Galilee will be a very, very big transformative initiative. In collaboration with the Council for Higher Education Steering Committee appointed by the Minister Yoav Kish, we're laying the groundwork for what we hope will be a world-class, maybe boutique institution that will serve as a catalyst for regional and national growth. That's what we hope. We believe that the university will be an academic institution uniquely positioned to focus on engaged teaching and research that leverages most of the region's strengths. Built on the foundation of Tel-Hai College ecosystem we have cultivated over the years, we hope that the university will be pioneering model of interdisciplinary hubs driven by, as I said, engaged research that addresses practical challenges and opportunities at both the regional, the national, and of course the global scales.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say maybe it's important just to say that this vision is ensured, of course, in a profound connection to the local and the regional industries and different communities. We have a lot of different communities in this area, ensuring our academic efforts generate meaningful tangible impacts.
So,
That's
so,
what I
so
hope.
those same communities, though, since the war began, the North has been vastly evacuated, and that includes students as well. And now during the ceasefire, people are quite afraid to come back. What does a college without a college look like?
Well, I think that during the first stages of the war, we mostly studied remotely and did a lot of the lab work and research in different academic institutions around the country. In the 24-25 academic year, Tel-Hai established alternative learning centers in Tel Aviv, Haifa, Carmiel, and other locations, ensuring that students can continue their education with in-person interactions alongside remote learning, because we saw that it's really so difficult to do everything from far away from remote. The Dean of Students' Office and faculty members came together to provide a comprehensive support system, offering really academic, financial, and emotional assistance to the students on reserve, to their parents, to evacuee students, and so on. But I think it's maybe also very, very important to say that that also the engagement of our students and staff members in the community did not falter even during the war. I would say that despite the immense challenges and extended evacuations, Tel-Hai students and staff continued to contribute to numerous projects. We provided critical support to victims of October 7th events and to many evacuees, children, adults, and elderlies. I want to give two examples that maybe will show how much the infrastructure of Tel-Hai and what we developed in Tel-Hai really helped in these emergency times. For instance, we had many teams from our trauma and stress program in social work studies that provided psychological first aid based on trauma intervention models developed at Tel-Hai by Dr. Moshe Farhi. It's called in English the 6 Cs. And in addition, I don't know if some of the people heard about the staff member that helped the two children in the kibbutz down south when they were closed in the closet, and she talked with them. That was our staff member. In addition, many of our graduates worked in Mashabim therapy centers established by Professor Muli Lahad. So I think that it's important to say that Tel-Hai's spirit is to engage in the community needs and do things that are for the goods of the area.
Right. I think that like a good example of that as well is just simply the fact that the student population is this precise age group, unfortunately, from which we see reservists going to serve on the front lines of the war. That's another just form of serving their community in a way. How do they cope with trying to keep up with their studies? And how do you as a college assist or provide solutions for that?
Well, in many cases, and thanks to many good people who contributed money and helped us, but we had teams in every department that contacted the reserve the students on reserve if they could be contacted, but we made a lot of effort. And we made sure that if they need any kind of support, if any kind of learning, if their families need any kind of support, we made sure that Tel-Hai community is there to see them beyond, the learning or the learning needs, and to really support both their learning, but much more than that, their special needs that came about all the time. I can say that, let's say, my two sons that were on reserve during the war, and worse students really got a lot of support and attention. And I think that's what makes Tel-Hai community so very special.
Professor Meirav Hen, Tel-Hai College, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you, and I hope to see us all back in campus. Thank you.